Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome for this little update video. As you saw in the title, I'm gonna update you on my health, what happened, and the consequences on FrenchTastic. Nothing too bad, let me tell you right away, don't worry. First of all, I want to say I'm alright, which is not really true, but let's just say I'm alright. I feel a lot better than last week, definitely. The pain is now unbearable. A lot happened. Oh God, a lot happened. Where to start? First of all, I'm really sorry. Well, I think it's been more than 10 days since the last video on FrenchTastic, and I did not plan on starting the year like that. It was a big gap like this. Obviously, you heard me. I had like so many plans and all, but life happens. But yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry about all that. So basically last weekend, so a few days after New Year's, the new year, during the night, it was a Saturday, I woke up and I had a pain in my abdominal area. I thought I just needed to pee, which I did. I went and pee, and then I came back to my room, tried to fall asleep again, and I was like, no, that's not it. It's really around the stomach area. It's painful. But at that time I was like, it's all right. And then I was not able to fall asleep, and minute by minute, the pain was like growing and growing, and I threw up. You're gonna understand why I'm laughing right now in a few minutes. I threw up, and right after that, I thought I would feel a little better, because usually when I don't feel good and I threw up, it's amazing. But right after, I just felt amazing. I felt very good, and then I can just go back to what I was doing. It's great. But this time, so it was in the middle of the night. This time I was like, oh man, no. I'm like, it's painful, like you don't see, but here it's painful. And well, for the next 6 or 7 hours, I kept throwing up, and the pain kept growing, and it was hell. Literally, it was hell. I think it was the worst 7 hours of my life. I can't believe how many times I threw up. It's kind of fantastic, honestly. And yeah, so basically I was in the kitchen all night, on the floor, and on the chair, trying to walk, throwing up here, there. Oh, it was a disaster, and pain was not going away, and it was awful, guys. I don't have the words for that, but it was awful, honestly. Around 6 or 7 in the morning, I started crying because of the pain. And at that moment, I thought, Mary, if you're crying right now, something's wrong. Because I'm pretty strong, I don't want to, show off. But, I'm strong, I never broke any bones. I grew up in the countryside, cold weather, all that stuff, and then my body is really strong, and I'm pretty good with the pain overall. But yeah, at that moment I was like, something's wrong. The pain is almost unbearable. I've been throwing up for hours, and now I'm crying. No, something's wrong. So lucky me, I was at my parents' at that moment, so I went upstairs, woke up my dad, explained to him, in a few words what was happening. He came downstairs in the kitchen. We I lied down in a room on my belly. He made me work on my, I was out of breath. I was like, I couldn't breathe. That was like very tiring too. And I don't know why, because I was literally on the floor or in the chair or trying to walk, but I was still out of breath, which was really weird and never happened to me. So that is really good at relaxation and working with your breath. I think you say breath, but breathing was the pronunciation. I'm not sure. But yeah, so he calmed me down right away. I worked on my respiration. No, I don't think you say that. Breath. And he helped me a lot. He massaged me the back, and for 10 minutes, I felt a little better. But then I suddenly needed to throw up, which I did. Threw up another time. Then I thought, you know what? I do feel a little better. Let's just take a shower. I did. Threw up again after a shower. It was, at that time, it was like 7 or something in the morning. It was still dark outside and pretty cold. And I was like really hot. So I was like, I'm just going to go walk outside. Some fresh air is going to be great. Which I did for 2 minutes, 3 minutes trying to walk. It was difficult to walk. Threw up again. Crazy. Then I said to Dad, which he was with me outside, I'm going back home. I'm like very cold right now. It was weird. My body was like, I was literally, the teeth, but they were doing that, and like a second after that, I was sweating. It was just crazy. So I came back home. Mom was awake at that moment. She told me lie down on the couch. I did. Threw up again. And then it was just crazy, guys. And then I ended up on the floor of the living room. And I was, I didn't know how to put myself. No positions were enabled me to feel a little better. Nothing. I couldn't do anything about the pain. And then it was just not going away. And I was so tired, I didn't sleep. And I was just, after hours and hours of just, feeling this pain growing more and more and throwing up and all, I started crying again. Mom started to cry because, she saw me like that. And at that point, that's it, Mary. I'm bringing it to the emergency department. So my parents worked at a hospital, and I didn't want to go. So that's the first thing I told my dad. And we also wanted to wait a little because you may not know, but hospitals in France, they're very good and all for a lot of things, but they're not the best when you go to the emergency department because there is hours and hours of waiting because we have, we need people working there, but there is less and less people. So there's like hours and hours of wait for you to be taken care of. And it can be difficult. Sometimes it's just useless to go, honestly. People die. Let's just say that. But yeah, but at that point, I needed professional help, I guess. So we went there. I kind of crawled, until the hospital. It was kind of crazy. And my luck started at that point. A nurse took care of me. She saw me. She put me in a room just before you go into the waiting room. That night, because it was morning, but that night the wait was 12 hours. So I was going to wait 12 hours before someone really sees me, And there's always a nurse who just come and check you and write down what you have for then, the next step. So she started taking, gonna put the word, asking me questions. And I was like trying to speak. And at that moment, my luck started. There's a guy, the chief of the whole emergency department for that night, who's just, doing a round and checking if everything was going okay. He appeared in that room and was like, oh, what is she here for? So she said, I don't know, I'm just starting. She says she has abdominal pain. So I said, well, can I touch her belly? I said, yeah, go ahead. It was almost impossible for him to touch my belly. But, they know stuff that you don't, and he touched very specific areas, organs. And right ahead, he said, you bring her directly to, so there's a name for that, but to the room when there's doctors and all that take care of you right away. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to wait 10 or 12 hours, amazing. But at the same time, I was like, oh, it means something's really wrong with me. So, started to get afraid and all. Oh man, this story is taking a very long time. I'm sorry. But yeah, at that moment, I was let's just keep some details. Guy there asked me, so what do you have? Starting, kind of filling, documents for me, trying to find what I had. and was not even able to answer him. I was throwing up again. Honestly, guys, I think I set a world record this day, of the human who threw up the most on this day, because I mean, it's pretty amazing, on the bad way, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, the pain was unbearable. It was completely unbearable, so they put morphine, and after a few minutes, I felt a lot better. So I had a lot of different doctors coming to see me that had, they were doctor for specific areas of the bodies. They asked me a ton of questions. I did a radiology. I did a scanner, I think you say too in English. I did an echography. I don't remember how you say that. I saw the word, and I did different blood tests. I stayed the whole day there. And after all that, they find some wrong stuff, but not enough to know what was going on. And they just, tell me, as I was feeling better with the morphine, just go home. And, I skip important details. Like, they asked me, do you drink? Do you, alcohol? Do you do drugs? Are you pregnant? And also, no. I eat well, I have a healthy weight, So it was difficult for them to point out what could have gone wrong because of the healthy lifestyle I have. And that's why, so now I know what I have, but that's why I'm coming to it. That's why it was difficult for them to point out what was wrong. Next day, so I went back home. It was awful, but I felt a lot better. Obviously, the pain was not bearable, but I really felt not good. Couldn't eat, obviously, anything. Didn't know what was wrong with me. My stomach, something else. I thought it was my stomach for a long time. Well, I was obviously, my stomach hurt a lot because I kept throwing up. Next day, another doctor, different doctor, private one, saw my blood results. She said, "Oh my goodness, it's bad. Like, how come they let you go? You should have been hospitalized." I was like, okay. I mean, it was up to them. I don't know. I don't really know. So she said, "You need to do this test and this test." And also, a few days after, I went back to do a test that is awful. Very unpleasant, but amazing somehow. It's the one where they put a camera on your mouth that goes to your stomach and they can see what's going on in your stomach. It was freaking unpleasant, but it was amazing because I was able to see my stomach, and they knew, because they asked questions, that I was doing documentaries and all. I was like, you can do documentaries about your stomach as a joke, but it was interesting. So my stomach was irritated, but nothing wrong with it. So yeah, at the hospital, they really thought, what they thought first was that I had a hole in my stomach and that was bleeding internally. And that was, why I had that pain, which in the end was, didn't show on the scanner and radiology and all. And it was not food poisoning because the blue results said, showed that it was not. I really thought it was that, but no. I did other kind of blood test the same day I did the camera stuff, because I saw a guy who is specialized in the organ stuff, abdominal organ, like stomach and all stuff. And we found out after a few days that I have I think you say pancreatitis, that word, which, if you guys had it before, it's freaking painful. When you have this, you have to be hospitalized for a week, and you have to be fed, to eat through the, through the blood, through the thing, which in the end I did not do because we learned a little too late that I had that. So they wanted to hospitalize me again. I said, no, I'm just going to stay home. Well, basically this is it, but we still are waiting for samples they took out of my stomach, because we don't know where this is coming from, this pancreatitis, because I don't drink very rarely. I again got yelled at last Christmas for not finishing my glass of champagne. Don't get me wrong, I love champagne and wine. I was born in the Champagne region, so I really love it, but I just, I'm that kind of person. A sip or two is enough, and I never finish my glass. And yeah, I have a really healthy, lifestyle. I eat healthy, so it's weird. It's weird that I have this. So it could be from a virus, but we still don't know. And well, if not, and this is a problem, it could be, a cancer or a immune, I don't know how to say that, like a disease that is in the blood, something bad, pretty bad. But if it was cancer, I will have a fever and I will lose a lot of weight. So I'm losing a lot of weight, not a lot of weight, I'm losing weight because I can barely eat, but I'm able to eat. And I had a fever last night, but just, a very small one. So let's not go down this road. And for the blood disease, we just have to wait the results. It's going to be in a few weeks now. All I can say is I'm glad, in the end, I didn't spend the week in the hospital and all. And I was at my parents' because, mom and dad took care of me and it was the best. I think this is how I'm that better, quickly. Because I was at home with my parents and I was able to eat mom's food. She, made special food for me to eat. And I think this is how I was able to recover that fast. I'm not completely, obviously, recovered. I mean, it's very difficult for me to eat, so I'm very tired. I cannot walk straight. I have to, for a long time, I have to walk like, instead of walking like that, I walk like that because I felt like I have a stone in my stomach all the time. Right now, yesterday was a lot better, but for the past week, it was awful. I was like literally walking like that. Yeah. And well, I cannot, take something heavy, stuff like that. But, overall, it's a lot better. So, the only problem is we don't know where it's coming from. I'm really hoping it's just a virus. And if this is it, it's gonna just go in a few weeks. So the only thing that the doctor said to me was to have a very strict diet without fat, because the problem is pancreas. I don't know how you say it in English. My problem is that he is developing way too much the thing for the fat. So it's kind of weird what I'm saying. And I don't really know how to say that in English, but so I have to eat absolutely no fat, which doesn't change much, my daily life, because I don't eat much fat anyway. But it's just that it's basically difficult for me to eat because it hurts, it's painful to just eat. So I'm very, very careful, and then that's all. So from FrenchTastic, so obviously we're already in the middle of the month, and I should have already have finished the USA trip series, but it's not the case. We'll probably finish it this week. We're gonna have a live this week or next week to really wrap up this whole series. I want to do a live for you to ask any questions you had that I didn't answer on the videos, all that stuff, and just talk to you about everything. So that will be there is one video left of the series, then there is my favorite moments video, and then I think there will be a live. So still 3 videos, maybe one more if I have another idea that I could do. And then I'm hoping to feel better enough to go on the road again. For the past few weeks when I was laughing, it was just hurting so much. Sneezing, coughing, laughing was impossible. But now I can finally laugh. It's not that painful. But yeah, all that to say, it was hard. It was tough. I was not expecting it, especially, at the beginning of this year. Let's be positive. I'm feeling better and better. Let's hope the next results we are waiting for are just going to show a virus, and that's it, and nothing more. So there is a part of it all that I'm working on. You may know that sometimes, actually most of the times, the disease that you guys, that we have are not really around your lifestyle, but more about your mental or your hurt, stuff like that. And this organ is the organ about affection, love, family. And I think I don't want to go deep in the explanations. I don't really think you guys are really interested in that. But I'm in a really good place right now. I had a lot of changes at the end of next year, good ones. Like some chapters finally ended in my life for the better. I was really waiting for that. And I'm now in a really, really, really good place. And then I feel more free than ever. And I'm just really good. And I think I'm finally in that place where I felt good enough for my body and my mind to finally express some deep things that I was just burying and putting away. Stuff like that, now that I'm finally in a good place, I can take care of that somehow, and it's probably why it's happening. But this is something, not everybody is in that, so I'm not gonna. So anyway, I just wanted to say all of that. I know it's been a long video, but I wanted to explain to you guys kind of in details what happened, because you guys care a lot, and I finally understand that, and I finally get that. I'm saying that because I can really see on this channel that you guys are a real family, and you guys see me like your daughter, granddaughter, or just a member of your family, and I really appreciate it. And to me, you guys are my family. Obviously, that I put a lot of love on this channel. It's my little baby, so I just think it's amazing the connection we can have. And so I also thought it was important for you guys to know what happened, especially as it was pretty sudden and never happened before, stuff like that, like this, and also that if very suddenly for a few weeks there is no video, whatever, it could be linked to that, but don't worry too much. I'm young, I'm strong, and that will be right. This is another thing, like every I've seen, I don't know how many doctors, but they all say you're weird. Like, I don't understand. You're young, you don't drink, you eat well. What's wrong with you? Like, how come you have a pancreatitis at your age with your lifestyle, And obviously I don't even have the answer myself if they don't have it as doctors. But yeah, this is another thing. It's very weird. Usually, this disease happen to people who are 50 or around this age, and people who drink a lot. But I'm in this small percentage of, we don't know why. It's a little scary, and at the same time, I'm like, nah, it's okay. It's just gonna go away, and that's all. Anyway, I've been talking for a long time. I do hope to put 2 more videos out this week for you guys. About the American, the USA trip series. I'll do my best. I understand that I'm doing everything slower. I'm very slow. Now I'm a slow human. I can go as fast as nothing is normal now. It will be normal in a few days, I think, but I walk very slowly. I eat very slowly. I do things very slowly. Just going upstairs, I'm out of breath. I'm old. I'm a grandma now. Really. Like, I want to take a nap right now. It's probably just 5 in the afternoon, and I did nothing today. Yesterday, I went on a walk for the first time. I stepped out of the house, and it felt really good. We had some sun. It felt really good, but I was so tired after this walk. Like a grandma, Anyway, so yeah, I'm taking things easy, slowly, but I'm thinking about you guys, and obviously I'm gonna do my best to upload videos this week and keep you updated. Thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for being that patient with me. Thank you for understanding that health is more important than anything. And I will see you hopefully on Monday. I'll see you Wednesday or Thursday for the next video. No promises, okay? Just saying that. And take care of yourself. Don't drink too much. Eat well. Do your workout. Health is important, guys. At any age, anyway. And I love you. Thank you very much for your concern. Thank you for caring. And I can't wait to see you again in my next video. That's it. Oh, I'm like a grandma. Look at me. Okay. Bye. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.